Hi, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Mackintosh Pendant. This is the 1343-25, also a larger size, 1343-28. Check them both out. Let's get into some of the great details on this pendant. I actually own this pendant, and I use it over a dining room table. However, I think this can be used in all kinds of other places because the overall height just starts at 17.3. So if you have the ceiling height, you can actually use this as a place that you walk under, a ceiling fixture, like in a foyer or a dining room or a living room, even a kitchen, good places like that. It's also bright enough and can be bright enough that this can go over a kitchen island in addition to places that you normally would expect to see it, like a dining room table. Okay, let's get into some of the details about it. If you guys are familiar with Charles Rene Mackintosh, he was a contemporary of Frank Lloyd Wright. He's an architect and a designer in Scotland during the Art Nouveau movement. So a good way to kind of research him a little bit is just to kind of pull up some of the pictures of his furniture, and you'll see echoes of that in this fixture. It's very interesting. Let's get into the size of fixture itself, 14.2 inches from the bottom to where the rods begin. 32.5 inches long. This is a good size for a 60-inch dining table, a 72-inch dining table. Once you get into the 84 to 95, 94-inch dining tables, the next size up is probably the one you want to look at. Overall height, oh wait, let's back up for a second. 14.2 inches tall. The width on it is, like I said, 32.5. The depth on it is 10.4. So it's a nice, beautiful oval fixture. Overall height, now we're talking about the distance from the bottom of the fixture to the ceiling is going to give you a pretty good range, 17.3 at its shortest, all the way to 63.3 at its longest, using different combinations of these rods. I want to show you a little bit more information about that, and how we do it is we're going to look at the installations instructions right now. So if you're on the page for this on Handmade in Vermont, look over on that side of the screen. Midway down, you're going to see a link. It's going to say, click here for installations, instructions, PDF. Open that up for me. It is going to show you lots of good information. It's going to show you how to put the glass on, how to put it together, and how I would put this together is you don't put the glass on until it's up at the very end. You're going to be taking the fixture, you're going to be laying it on a table, on a blanket, or towels, or something like that. And you're also going to want to look at the chart. So there's a chart on that page. There's also a chart on the page for this on Handmade in Vermont that's going to show you which combinations of which of these rods you're going to use to get to the overall height, bottom of fixture to ceiling, down, that you desire. So just take advantage of that, and it's very, very simple. Like I said, you're going to lay it out, no glass till it's up. You're going to take the wires and you're just going to kind of feed them through these little parts. So Hubbardton Forge is using this system of interconnected pipes, threading on the ends, on the inside, little tiny threaded pieces here. They just screw in really quick. You're going to be feeding those wires through the parts one by one, like through a connector, through a pipe, through a connector, through a pipe, and then when you're done, you're just going to screw them together, which is, super, super easy, fast. And look at that. It's so clean. These are so beautifully engineered, you barely even see a seam on them. They kind of vanish. So you're going to be getting quite a few of these. You're going to get 6 of the 12-inch. You're going to get 2 of the 6-inch, this guy. You're going to get 2 of the 3-inch and a bunch of the little connectors. And you're going to use them to your heart's content to get to that overall height. And then you're going to be exiting the canopy. The canopy is the part that goes on the ceiling. That is coming in 5.25 inches square. And then it basically just goes on a standard junction box. This is not very heavy at all. It's pretty light. It's just going to hang from a box like this, and this is what you guys have in your ceiling. So it's also slope ceiling adaptable in one direction only. If you guys are using this on a slope, I would recommend you give me a call and I can kind of walk you through all of that. The other cool thing about those installations instructions are there are lots of detailed drawings of the canopy at the top, the knuckles where the slope ceiling adaptable part is. There's also a perforated metal diffuser on the top of this, and you'll see that in those pictures, those drawings. It's going to show you the diffuser. The reason there's a diffuser, it just kind of keeps you from looking at the socket setup if you're looking down on it from a second floor, like a balcony or stairway. Okay, that's what that's all about. Okay, let's move on to a couple other things. Let's talk about glass really quick, because I actually have the glass right here. I took it off our showroom sample. So this is Hubbardton Forge's opal glass, and I'm going to talk more about opal a little later in the video. And this is slump glass made in upstate New York. And so how slump glass is made is there's going to be a mold. They're going to put glass, like a sheet of glass on it. it's going to get put into a kiln, which is a really hot oven, and it's just going to melt into the mold and just take on all the appearance of that. Then they're going to come back and do their little magic on it, which is going to be a lot of sandblasting and then putting another layer of glass on the inside of it to make it opaque. You're not going to be seeing the sockets through this. It's a really beautiful piece of glass. Very, very hard to make this glass, especially in this size, without making any mistakes. So we appreciate it, and those nice people in New York State. Let's get into what you can do with this as far as lamping goes. This can throw a tremendous amount of light. Like I said before, you can use this in all kinds of applications. It's going to be using two of these. These are porcelain medium base sockets, and they're going to be on their sides. So one is going to go this way, one is going to go that way, so it's going to spread the light out inside that oval. If you guys want to stay with incandescent bulbs, you can go up to 150 watt BT15 halogens, and that's what this is. So this is a little bulb inside a bigger bulb, and remember, these are going to be on their side, so you can make this ultra bright, like 300 watts of halogen light if you want to, because the heat just escapes going up. However, if you guys want to do LEDs, and I think most of you are going to want to do that, the recommended bulb is going to be an A19, and that's the bulb we all grew up with. Easy to get. Every store you walk into is going to have these kind of things. This is the old school kind, which I still use here and there. But these are actually the newer ones. So the phosphorus ones are the clear ones. I have found this easily up to 150 watt equivalent, and I think I bought it at a Walmart or an Ace Hardware or something like that. And we use them all over our store. We also talk about the color of the light coming out of them. In every video I talk about it. So they're going to offer these to you in 2700 Kelvin. That's going to be super yellow. They're also going to offer these bulbs to you in something called daylight. Daylight is not a warm light. That's that cold bluish white hospital waiting room light. So just remember that. That's going to be 4000, 5000 Kelvin on the Kelvin scale. What we like to use in our showroom is this nice warm light called soft white or warm white. That's going to be 3000 Kelvin. That's what we use here because it mimics our incandescent bulb that we all grew up with, and we all like that. At least most of us like that. The other thing, like I said, it's a dimmable fixture. If I were you, I'd probably get at least 100 watt equivalent or maybe 150 watt equivalent, so you have tons of light when you want lots of light, and you can always dim it down without a problem. I want to touch base on Hubbardton Forge's opal glass for just a second. So all of Hubbardton Forge's glass to begin with is going to be hand blown. This piece is hand blown first in clear. Then they're going to come in and they're going to blow another layer of white glass on the inside of this. The third step is they're going to take and they're going to sandblast the whole thing on the inside and the outside. That's going to give you this beautiful, mellow, translucent, milky piece of glass. When you look at this, and you can see the layers are actually piled up on the inside of this. Hubbardton Forge is very obsessed about details on all of their pieces, including their glass, and that's why you're here, because you're probably just as obsessed about little details as well. Let's get into metal finishes now. If you are on the HandmadeInVermont.com website, look over in the red tabs with the pictures in them over there. You're going to see a Finishes Help Guide tab. Open that up for me. It's going to be a video there of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton Forge finishes, how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be referencing a chart just down below. So scroll down a little bit. You're going to see a chart. You can click on that chart. So you can click on dark smoke. You can click on soft gold. Doesn't matter. Big page will pop up showing you lots of different things in that finish. You can go back to the chart and you'll notice there's letters A's on them, letter B's on some of those things, and that's going to be showing you this range of variants that you can expect to see on different translucent finishes, but I'll talk about all of that in the video, okay? Okay, showroom. Our showroom in Vermont has over 400 Hubbardton Forge fixtures. This is the biggest showroom in the world of Hubbardton Forge. No other showroom is like this. Hubbardton Forge doesn't even have their own showroom. They use this one. What's on display? We have a great tab on that. On those same red tabs, you're going to see a What's on Display page. So open that up. It's going to show you everything we have on display, and including which finish, which shade, all of those things, and what kind of glass it's on there. We're open every day except Sunday, 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We also have an amazing clearance center. Clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's returns, discontinued stuff, showroom samples. You have to come here to use it. Can't call us or email us about it, but it's definitely worth coming in to look at if you're in Vermont. Plus, you want to use the showroom anyway because there's just so much great stuff here to see. Our number in Vermont, 802-446-2400. You can email us 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Love to answer emails, and it's sales@HandmadeInVermont.com. So when you order from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is going to be free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. No tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. And we're the only dealer with 90-day returns, no restocking fee. Nobody else does that. Some larger items are going to be non-returnable. It's going to be really important that you are looking at the fixture on that page and kind of scroll down under the description. It'll tell you if that is the case. And that's usually for really big, giant, huge fixtures, mostly that go out on pallets. Okay, that's it. Rush program. Let's talk about that. So rush program, Hubbardton Forge generally takes about 3 to 4 weeks to go out the door. That's production time before your transit time. You always have to add that on too. We offer a rush program that takes you from that 3 to 4 weeks down to a little under 2 weeks. It's a very small addition per line item. So if you have like 1, 2, 3 items, like let's say 3 or 4 outdoor sconces, and they're all the same size and they're all the same finish, that's one line item. So it's very inexpensive to rush those kind of things. Don't be afraid to email us and ask about that. Okay, so that's really it. If you guys have any other questions, let us know. We would love to see you in our showroom sometime. And thanks for stopping in.